Yes. Welcome to Afrique 24. This is your 24-hour channel, whereby whenever you see us here, you know that we are having this wonderful conversation, and we are going to tackle some of the things that are happening in our country, Kenya. And you know, the most thing that is being talked in this country, the debate that is circulating in this country, is the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. So the search for the Kikuyu kingpin still continues. William Ruto, allies have decided to keep off with Rigathi Gachagua. You know, he is the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, and you know some of the things are happening in this country. As you know that the fight for Mount Kenya kingpin is still ongoing. 2027 general election, each is still on, and things are happening in this country. So we're going to tackle some of the top stories here in Afrique 24. And I welcome you wherever you're joining this conversation so that you can join us through the comment section there. I know the likes of Gibbs Icona, the likes of Awesome, the likes of Leo Nyabaya will be following this conversation as we all go through in the next few hours. So welcome to Afrique 24. My name is Boniface Kimanzi, and you know, we are going to have this conversation and try to discuss some of the top stories. Leaders have come together so that they can defend, and they call for peace when it comes to Gachagua and Ruto. Things are happening. Cleophas Malala, you know, he was one of the close friends to Ruto, and now he is saying that he has been abducted. His son has been abducted. The people of Kenya are condemning abductions that are ongoing in this country. It is during the era of William Ruto we are having this Gen Z development. We have Gen Z protests. We have a lot of abductions in this country. So we are going to discuss all those in Afrique 24. You know, this is your channel. If you're following us in this conversation, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You know, this is the only way you can support this channel. This is the only way you can give us that support, and also keeping her here, because we are going to keep you informed and give you more about what is happening in this country. You know, we unlock stories from all over the world. We are going to discuss all those here in Afrique 24. Joined by Alex here, and I want him to give us his opening remarks and a bit of what he thinks about the current situation in this country. 254.
Good evening, Mr. Boniface. So I'm happy to be here, and
Good.
I hope I hope we can engage in a meaningful conversation which can be educative to the people of Kenya. That's all I can say.
And what do you think about the current situation in this country?
Our problems are deeply rooted. There's a very bad culture which is rooted in this country. So it's very hard to spin. That's why even what Morara is doing, it's a dream. It's a dream because we need a lot of civic education in the country for us to start mobilizing ourselves and electing people of integrity.
The people of Kenya have been complaining, and you know, there is some of leaders in the Mount Kenya region who came together, and they tried to give Kithure Kindiki, who is the interior, that is the cabinet secretary for interior security in this country, and that is where we have the fight now. Still, Kimani Chungwa has been fighting together with Rigathi Gachagua. A lot of things are happening in this country, so we don't know what is happening in the Mount Kenya region, because they are saying that they want to get that direct contact with the president, and now the impeachment motion is ongoing, as well as Gachagua friends, loyal followers, the likes of Kitu Waruguru, Waiga, that is Mutai Kaiga of Nyeri, that is the governor of Nyeri. They have been supporting him and ensuring that the Mount Kenya man has that support. The honest man has the support. So we shall be reviewing what is happening, and we try to give our ideas as we welcome you through the comment section there. You tell us, what do you think about the fight in the Mount Kenya, and who's going to be the next Kikuyu kingpin? Kimani Chungwa, of course, he has been roaring without fear, and he has been attacking Gachagua for a long time. So we are going to discuss all those here in Africa 24. And do you think that Gachagua should be impeached? And why do you think so? And if you don't agree, you give us your comment section there, and we shall be reading them here in Africa 24.
Siasa wale wanapanga na kujipangia siasa za 2027 waendelee, na hatuna shida na wao. Wale wanataka kwenda kutafuta na Tembea na Wajakoya na Kalonzo wafanye urafiki nao, ni haki yao ya kikatiba. Hata yule anataka kutengeneza chama ya siasa atengeneze, lakini usiwe wewe una sabotage kazi ya serikali ati ili utumie hiyo siasa kurudi kuambia watu ati Mount Kenya barabara haziundwi. Sasa leo sijui utasema nini, hii ni police station imejengwa ikaisha. Sisi tumetengeneza urafiki na William Ruto na serikali ambayo tuliunda pamoja. Hii serikali tujiulize tutaitumiaje ili maendeleo na mambo ya kustawisha nchi ifikie wananchi ambao wanatupigia kura. Ili 2027 ikifika hiyo wanasema hatutakuja kuwapea story, tutakuja tuwahesabie barabara ilikuwa imekwama, imefunguliwa, inaendelea. Waziri, hapa Kiambu ndio bedroom ya Nairobi. Ukiona tukinena Kiswahili hapa sio ati sababu hatuelewi na hatujui Kikuyu, lakini tunajua tumechanganyika watu wa jamii zote za Kenya, and that is the beauty of our county. Ukisikia tukisema hatutaki kuchanganyishwa kwa siasa za ukabila, sababu tunaelewa wale wapiga kura wanapigia Kawanjiko kura hapa Kiambaa ni wa jamii zote za Kenya, na najua kuna watu kutoka Luo Nyanza, kuna watu kutoka Kisii, kuna watu kutoka Western, kuna watu kutoka Rift Valley, hata watu wa Coast wameishi kwa amani na Wakenya wengine hapa Kiambaa kama ndugu na dada. Na ndio tumesema tusigawe kwa misingi ya ukabila sababu ya siasa. Lakini pia usitutumie sisi kama ngao ya kujikinga kwa siasa za ukabila. Useme utatumia jamii moja ili umobilize jamii na mambo ya siasa ambayo ni ya kujinufaisha wewe mtu binafsi. Waziri, what we want you to focus on is unlocking all our development projects, not just in Kiambu County and in the Mount Kenya region. Assist the president to unlock development projects that will give value to the Kenyan people, give value to the votes that the Kenyan people voted for the Kenya Kwanza government. And join us in uniting all the people of our country, irrespective of the language they speak or where they came from originally. Because wherever we live, it is God who has chosen for us where to live. Hakuna mtu huambiwa ati lazima uishi hapa. Mungu ndiye hukuelekeza uishi na Wakenya wengine mahala popote Kenya hii na dunia hii. Because when we look at you, we have seen a leader who is focused and a leader who will not be mixed up in the current day politics where people want to mobilize on the basis of ethnicity for their own selfish and parochial interests. We want you, Waziri, to focus on unlocking all our development projects.
That is Kimani Chungwa. And of course, you know, Kimani Chungwa is one of the close friends that we have in the government. He is so close to William Ruto. And you know, William Ruto has been so silent when it comes to this motion. He has never talked about this. And when they were having those tours in Lake regions, western part, Migori, they were even in Meru. I remember them going around in Tharaka Nithi. They were so close. They went to Kisii. They were so close. They also went to Muranga. They were so close. And how did this happen in the shortest time as possible? Is this a real thing, or they are trying to get the attention of Kenyans? But I remember Kevin Wesonga once told me that these guys are not in bad terms. They are just trying to get the attention. And by 2027, they are coming together. And that is when they will win election. So maybe they are trying to create that environment to the Kenyans, so the Kenyans can now get captured in the middle of those chaos. And when they come together in 2027, then they will have a reason to vote for them. William Ruto has been supporting uh, anything that is happening in this country, saying that he will make sure that he will improve this country in terms of development, and most important, that we will pay our own debts from our own money. He has been saying that. So we're waiting to see whether they are going to improve this after broad-based government. That is when we started having these conflicts in the UDA government. UDA is the leading political party in this country. It is the one that has chosen the president. So the broad-based government, after Raila came in together with the top leaders, it is where they started having all those problems, and now it's like they want to impeach Gachagua. Do you think this is a motion that is still there? And why do you think that Cleophas Malala relationship together with Ruto broke down, and yet he was the SG of the party? He was now, yeah, he was expelled from the party, and still he was talking yesterday saying that he wants to advise the president that maybe he can give him one or two words, but you want him to listen. That whatever is happening, he should take control. Alex, what do you take from what Kimani Ichung'wah said? And do you think that Kimani Ichung'wah has ate together, they are enemies together with the deputy president when it comes to the kingpin of Mount Kenya?
So here in this Kenya, there's something that's called the politricks, and sometimes it's not easy to be able to maneuver through the politricks of the country. So I have I there's some questions I have in my head which I don't have answers for. Like I don't know whether Kimani Ichung'wah is 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 paid by the president to go and create or wage war between him and the deputy president, so that he can try to maybe they want to try and impeach him, so that maybe let's someone like Kindiki can be put as the deputy president. But again, I wonder, why would the president go against the person who supported him in the 2022 election? You see, so those are questions which I don't have answers for. For Kimani Ichung'wah, first of all, Boni, I believe Kimani Ichung'wah is one of the hardworking MPs in his area in Kikuyu. He has worked to deliver. There are good roads in Kikuyu, which you have to give him his flowers for. But I think sometimes Kimani Ichung'wah is ahead of himself, because there are video clips surfacing of him speaking about how he was able to dethrone the former president Uhuru Kenyatta when he was just an MP. You see, so that's hate speech coming from him, saying that he can dethrone whoever he wants from power, and he's forgetting that the people who voted for the deputy president and the president are the same ones who voted for him in the previous election. So ajue kichwa chake kimotoni. If the deputy president chooses to campaign for Kimani Ichung'wah to lose office, there's a big chance he might lose, because as we speak right now, Kimani Ichung'wah is the kingpin of the mountain as it is. Although me, Boni, I am against this tribal kingpinship which is there in Kenya, and I think as citizens we have to refuse being mobilized into being mobilized by the tribal kingpins, and that's being they like it's like they're the ones who are dictating how we are moving, how we are doing the things. So if right now Kimani Ichung'wah tells his supporters to go against Rigathi, they rally going against Rigathi, not knowing anything. Like they follow blindly, or let's say sycophantic following. So we have to refuse being mobilized by tribal kingpins, and we move by leaders of integrity, because that's even what our constitution says. So why would we go against our constitution because our tribal kingpins are saying this or that? And but the main thing that I've picked from his speech, Kimani Ichung'wah is advocating for us finishing tribalism, because we know tribalism is a very big issue here in Kenya. Considering in terms of looking for work, there are places which you can go to look for work, and you will miss out the work because you don't belong to a certain tribe, of which that should not be the thing. You should get the work based on your skill and expertise. Same way, even in when it comes to politics, if you come from a minority tribe which doesn't have the numbers, you are not able to vie for the office, and the people won't vote for you because you don't come from a certain tribe. So Kimani Ichung'wah has been big on advocating for Kenyans to abolish tribalism. So there we have to give him his flowers, and it's also my hope and dream that someday we can be able to finish tribalism. Thank you.
Mimi nataka nimalizie kwa kuwauliza sisi wote tuweze kutembea barabara ya umoja, tuungane, tushirikiane, tufanye kazi pamoja. Sisi hawa wananchi, mmesikia askofu walisimama mbele ya madhabahu wakatuombea, na walituombea tupate nafasi ya uongozi, na hiyo nafasi ya uongozi Mungu ametubarikia, tumepata. Nafasi ambayo iko sasa yetu kama viongozi ni kujenga taifa letu, kupanga maendeleo ya barabara, ya maji, ya shule, ya elimu, ya mahospitali, ya ajira ya vijana wetu, mambo ya housing, mambo ya markets. Hiyo mipango yote hapa Nyeri tunajenga soko mpya 11. Ine tayari, moja karibu 90%, ingine inaendelea. Hapa Nyeri mpango yetu ni first 5,000 houses. Zingine ziko hapa, zingine ziko katika mpango yetu. So hiyo mpango yote. Maneno ya 2027. Tafadhali tupunguze mambo ya 2027. Huko 2027 ni Mungu na wananchi ndio wataamua. Lakini sasa tuko na miaka mitatu. Hii miaka mitatu haitakuwa tu ya kupanga vile utashinda tena 2027. Panga kwanza vile ya kutumikia hawa wananchi. Ama namna gani jameni? Kwani mtu anachaguliwa tu, akichaguliwa siku hiyo hiyo anaanza tena kupanga vile atashinda uchaguzi hiyo ingine? Si unapanga kwanza vile ya kufanyia kazi wananchi. Tupange maji, tupange stima. Nikiongea hapa, PS wangu ya stima yako hapa, Bwana Wachira. Huyu Bwana Wachira nimewambia hapa Nyeri katika awamu ya kwanza ambaye program inaendelea saa hizi, nyumba 10,000 mpya tuweke stima. Kufikia Disemba tutaongeza milioni 575 ingine, nyumba zingine 10,000 kutokea Januari tukisonga mbele. Hivyo na mipango yale mengine yote. That is what we must let us focus ourselves on delivering the commitments we made to the people of Kenya, not on how to win the next election. Na hata hiyo ukiweka mawazo yako yote 2027, na Mungu akiamua mambo ingine utadu, si utakwama hapa katikati? Tafadhali nawaomba viongozi, sisi wote ni jeshi moja, si ndio? So nawashukuru sana.
That is William Ruto. That is William Ruto speaking in that meeting that was held in Nyeri. And of course, you know that he was saying that we plan for 2027. Do you think that they are going to plan for 2027? Because the fight is still on, and they are saying that by 2027 they are going to work for the people of Kenya. Do you think that they are going to work for the people of Kenya? And what do you think that this is the only statement that I got from William Ruto, that they are going to work for the people of Kenya? Do you think that this is happening in this country? By what is happening, like they are building houses, we have the housing fund, we also have the building the economy of this country. A lot of things are happening. Do you think that whatever president is saying that is true? That they are not campaigning for 2027. You know, he has been silent and he has not spoke more about what is happening. So do you think this is true? You can join us through the comment section there, because that is the only statement that I always like from William Ruto. He can tell you something, but at the end of the day, then you will keep there waiting. Give Sakura in the comment section. You know, you are one of our brand ambassadors here in Africa 24, and we are saying that here we appreciate so much. And Gibbs Sakura is saying that, does it mean that Kenya can't exist without the mountain? You know, Gibbs Sakura, I want just to answer you, because the mountain is one of the areas that determines our political arena in the 254. You fail to get votes from the Mount Kenya, you go to get votes in Lake region, you fail to get votes in Lake region, Mount Kenya, and some parts of Rift Valley, then at the end of the day, you are going to fail. But now we have to get the kingpin. You know, those are the areas that dictate political arena, and that dictates the number of votes that you're going to get if you want to win the presidential seat in this country, 254. And he saying that gives a corner. I like Ruto's dry sense of humor. Why do you say that he has a dry sense of humor? Gives a corner. Alex, I think you have listened to what President said. That is one of the chorus that I always like about him. But at the end of the day, I don't know what happens. Do you think that the government is not campaigning for 2027 and they're working for the people of Kenya? And what is your view about the current situation whereby Ruto and Gachagua are fighting each other? Allies of Gachagua, allies of Ruto are fighting each other. What is the end result of this situation? Alex, you are not getting me? I think you have lost Alex in the middle of conversation. Remember, this is Afrique 24. You can join us through the comment section there. Either you're following us in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you can welcome into this conversation. Tell us where you're following from and what is your view about the new Mount Kenya leader. Is Gachagua friends talking the truth? And do you think that Ruto and Gachagua are having those fights? Are the fights real, or they are trying to get, or they are trying to capture the attention of Kenyans? That is the question that I am asking here in Afrique 24. And you can join us, send your conversation there, and we shall be reading them live here on top of our screen. So you can join us there. Alex, are you back? I think we are having problems with the network from his side, but he shall be back. Kidere Kindiki, as you know, Kindiki is there, but the friends of Gachagua are not happy with endorsement of Kidere Kindiki for Mount Kenya Kingpin. There is a time that Kindiki talked together with the president, and that was a congregation that was happening in one of the areas in Kenya, and the moods of Gachagua really spoke a lot. Today we saw Gachagua together with his top members talking. There it is always a fight. Some of the MPs talked about endorsement of Gachagua. I want us to listen to them, because this is where the fight started. This is where we have the epicenter of what is happening in this country.
Simama hapa kama MCAs wa eneo la Nyandarua, na tunahuzunika sana kusikia tulisemekana tulikuwa tumeenda Murang'a, hakuna MCA hata mmoja kati ya wale 41 MCAs tuko nao Nyandarua waliweza kufika pale, na tunataka kusema ukinaga ubaga, sisi tuko nyuma ya yule deputy president tulichagua Rigathi wa Gachagua, na kusema ya kwamba tunafuata Kidiki. Kidiki kwanza apigane na Paul Mtau, Kimani Ichung'wah, Mwangi Kiojori. Hawa ni watu wamekataliwa na raia. Watu wanauliza uchaguzi itafika lini, wapelekwe nyumbani.
To the president directly, the question on the Mount Kenya leadership, on who is senior to the other, for me it is neither here nor there. By the time we went to election, there was clarity on who is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And in this case, it was Gachagua. We want to retaliate our support to the Deputy President, and that it is not a question of who should be.
Yes, that is some of the MCAs in Nyandarua saying that they are going to support 100% Gachagua, and that is not a question that should be asked by anyone. That is an obvious question. You know that Gachagua is the kingpin of Mount Kenya. So if you're going to endorse anyone else, then you know that you are doing it against their orders. That is a section of MPs there, and that is MCAs trying to say that they don't support what is happening. They don't support the endorsement of Kindiki. And Gachagua has spoken about this. So we are going to weigh about it. And if you are following the conversation, you can tell us, do you think that the fight will still continue? And do you think Kindiki can be the best person to represent the mountain apart from the DP Rigathi Gachagua? Gibson Kone saying that I was being sarcastic about Ruto's sense of humor because he said that people should not start campaigning but to work for the public while he is campaigning. That is Gibson Kone in the comment section there, and you know he is one of our brand ambassadors. Alex, do you agree with the situation that we are having? Are you back, Alex? Do you hear me? And do you agree with what is happening in this country, like Gachagua and Kindiki fight? Is this fight real? And what is your way and what is your take about the fight in the mountain? Alex, are you able to hear me? Earlier today, I was following our conversation, and some of the leaders in western part of Kenya started condemning the issue that is happening in this country, the fight between Gachagua and Ruto. So they are calling for peace. Let's listen to them as we on our next one.
Nyote. Kwa majina mimi ni Alhaji Shaabani Gakere Bakari kutoka kwa Baraza Kuu la Waislamu nchini Kenya. Na kama alivyoeleza mwenzangu, tumekutana hapa siku ya leo maksusi kwa sababu ya vijana. Sote tunaelewa kilichotendeka June, hakuna haja ya kukitaja. Hakikuwa kitu kizuri, halikuwa jambo zuri katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Na yalitendeka na kukawa kuna remedial issues, kuna kutibu, kujaribu kusuluhisha, na serikali inajaribu kusuluhisha, lakini mpaka sasa
they're saying that they are trying to call for peace in the country. Alex, do you agree that some of the leaders are supporting that we call for peace and others are supporting that we have the division of these two leaders? So you can join us there through the comment section there and tell us what is your view about this. Gibson Kona is saying that that was sarcastic. He was being sarcastic for that. He was being sarcastic for saying that Ruto dry sense of humor. But do you agree that Ruto is campaigning? Have you seen him campaigning? That is the question that I'm asking Gibson Kona. Do you agree that Ruto is campaigning for 2027 general election? And is this one true? So the fight is still on, and some of the things that are happening in this country, people are condemning. The breakdown of the relationship between Cleophas Malala and William Ruto is still shocking. People are not getting to know what is happening, but we are going to keep you informed in this Afrique 24 because this is your 24-hour channel. Gachagua today, he met with Ketu Aruguru, but before we play Ketu Aruguru, I have some of comments here and a speech from one of the leaders here talking about the relationship between Gachagua and Ruto.
Tumeona yale mambo ambayo yanaendelea kufanya ya kupiga siasa ya migawanyo na kuincite na uchochezi. Sio yale ambayo anaweza kutusaidia kuhakikisha ya kwamba tunatimiliza zile ahadi ambazo tuko nazo kwa Wakenya. Kwamba watu wa Shinyalu na Wakenya wengi kwa jumla wanasema wamechoka na siasa ya migawanyo, wamechoka na siasa ya domokaya, wanataka watu wakae katika zile nafasi ambazo waliteuliwa na wafanyie Wakenya kazi ili tupate nafuu ya kimaisha ili
Siasa gani ya migawanyiko? That is a question that I'm asking. You know, every person talking about this country has to talk about tribalism and division of politics that is happening. So what do you think, and who do you think they are advising in this kind of speeches? Because every leader who will speak, then he will actually mention about this. We had Oscar Sudi, that is MP of Kapsaret, talking about the tribalism cases and other top leaders. We also saw activists talking about tribalism and a lot of people talking about the current situation in this country. Do you really agree that our country is in a total mess? And do you think Gachagua will step down if any chaos happens? And do you think that he is going to give up?
Good evening, TikTokers. Mambo ikoaje? Mimi niko sawa kabisa. I'm very happy my younger sister Kate has come to check on me, find out how I am. I've had a good day. I'm great. I'm just relaxing. And I wish tomorrow was a Friday, but I have to go to work tomorrow. But I'm happy that my sister is here.
Yes, Rigiji, how are you doing?
I'm great.
So happy to see you. Good evening.
Niko sawa kabisa.
Yeah. Mimi nimesema lazima nikuchomoe kwenye huko.
Yes.
Nijue vile unaendelea.
Ndio.
Na happy kuona uko salama.
Niko chonjo.
Nimetumwa na salamu mingi sana na Wakenya.
Asante.
Nikwambie wanakupenda, wako nyuma yako.
Asante.
Na wameniambia nipunguze maneno kidogo.
Ndio.
Na nimesikia hiyo maneno, unajua ukiongea ni baba yetu.
punguza maneno. Punguza maneno. Sisi hatuna vita na mtu yeyote. Ile ulisema pale ni kwa kali sana. Hakuna haja.
Nimesikia hiyo
amani. Hatuna maneno na mtu yeyote.
Kabisa boss.
Na tutulie tufanye kazi. Kenya hii ni yetu na ni nzuri. In fact, I'm looking forward to go to the Nairobi International Trade Fair tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
To represent my boss, President William Ruto, who is out of the country.
Wow.
I look forward to seeing our people at the showground.
Wow.
And I'll spend the whole afternoon there.
Amazing.
And we are good and we are strong and all these things that are going on, it's neither here nor there.
Absolutely.
We've been around for a while and we've seen many things. It's took us out.
Thank you Rigiji kwa kutupatia assurance, your excellency.
Asante.
Unajua ni baba yetu.
Kabisa.
Hii vijana yote wale wazuri wakora, watu ya kelele, wanasiasa, wale wameokoka, wale kalikali, kama wengine wenye hawako hapa, hiyo wote ni watoto yako. Na I'm happy that you're giving us the assurance that everything is okay. Na nchi itaendelea. Kwa hivyo mafans wa Rigiji na mafans wa Kate iza mambo iko sawa.
Asante. Nimeshukuru sana.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening, boss.
Thank you.
Yes, that is Gachagua together with Kate Waruguru. You know, Kate Waruguru is one of the leaders who has been loyal to Gachagua. Mutahi Kahiga has been so loyal to Gachagua, Kate Waruguru, and also Mwangi Kiunjuri has been so loyal to Gachagua. So they are trying to talk. They are having good memories. You know, Kate Waruguru over the weekend, she talked condemning the situation and the motion that is circulating in this country that they want to impeach, Gachagua. That is Kate Waruguru there speaking about the impeachment of Gachagua. I shall be giving you more speeches, and as we cover the top stories here in Africa 24, join us through the comment section there. You tell us where you're following the conversation from, And why do you think that the situation that is happening in this country is going to last for years, or it is just a game plan for winning 2027 general election? The fight is still on, and some of the leaders are condemning the current situation.
Sijui Anua Mero, sijui Kirinyaga, sijui Embu. Nasikia wengine wanaanza kusema huyu naye ni wa Murang'a, Nyeri na Kiambu. Sisi, I want to tell you, being a leader here, hiyo watu yote mnapazukana huko wako hapa kwetu, wako hapa shamba hii ya Nyakenywa hapa. Tuna wa Meru, tuna wa Embu, tuna Kirinyaga, tuna Nyeri, wote wako hapa. Hiyo vita mko naye, piganeni huko, msitulemsie hapa. Ndio watu waanze kusema na chairman anatoka wapi? Sijui Kiambu. Na secretary anatoka wapi? Nyeri. Sijui na nani atoka Embu. Those are childish politics. Fanyeni huko, piganeni, mkitaka kumalizana, malizaneni, lakini muache sisi watu wa Rift Valley tuungane pamoja. We are not only 2 tribes in Rift Valley. If you want 45 tribes, utapata wapi? Rift Valley. Rift Valley. Sisi hataki kusema huyu ni wa Nyeri, huyu ni wa Kiambu, huyu ni wa hapana. And your excellency, na kuomba matusi ambayo inaelekea, una nguvu ya kusimamisha. Mtu kama Kimani Ichung'wah kuita kukuambia ati utoe nyoka kwa mkono yako, hiyo ni kukosea heshima. Kusema Gachagua is a village boy yaende akakufe. I heard you saying in the church, and I support you, your excellency. Hii vita isima. But I urge you, you said it just somewhere in the church. Call them, whip them in the parliament, in the state house. You are the boss. You are the president. Whip them. Wakae hapo. Deputy akae hapo. Hawa watu wote wanarukaruka hapa, wakae hapo. Waambie Kenyans wakisikia, usibebeshe msalaba ambaye sio yako. Watu wasikie ukisema huyu ni my deputy ama mimi hatusikizani, mimi navuta yeye kazi. You can say that. But if you want peace, 2 years na tumeanza vita. 2 years tumeanza majina. Ile watu walitupigia si kura kama hawa walitarajia wapate title ndio wapate mashamba yao squatters, watakuwa wapi? Where would they be? They are not interested with that fight. Hiyo vita ikwishe. In groups sisi watu ya hapa Rift Valley tumekubaliana. Yes. Hiyo vita ifanye nini? Ishe. Ili wasituletee wapi? Hapa. Wapigana wapi? Huko. Sisi tukae na hiyo makabila wanajigaa wote wako wapi? Hapa. Na wako na mashamba mpaka hii hapa ya leo. Watu ya Nyeri wako hapa, watu ya Kiambu. Hata hapa hamjui hapa Subukia. Kuna watu ya Kirinyaga. Wako na shamba hapo. Ilikuwa ile minister alikuwa zamani yao. Alinunulia hawa. All these people are here. Ndio. Na tukipigana namna hiyo, Wakalenjin wataenda wapi? Watu ya Nyanza wataenda wapi? Waluya wataenda wapi? Wakamba wataenda wapi? Wale tuko hapa. Piganeni huko. When you sort out, mtatukuta hapa na umaskini yetu tukiendelea. Lakini kahawa yetu na majani yetu ni amani. Amen. Kahawa yetu, majani yetu ni amani. Amen. Kwa hivyo excellency, whip amani. Yes. Na tusikie umeita hawa watu. Ni kwa nini hawakai mbele yako namna hii? And you know you have orders. Ukisema watu wapiga Yesu wanapiga Yesu. Ukisema wapiga no wanapiga nini? No. Na walipopiga Yesu ukaona imeharibika, wewe ukaenda no. Because you saw the country where it is going. Na ukasave nini? The country. Put them in the state of Kenyans wote waambie leo ninamaliza vita ya milima. Leo namaliza siasa baya. We have only 2 years. Hata jana ulisema miaka 2 hata tujafanya kitu. Wengine kama sisi hatujaonja chochote. Wale tulipigania hii kazi yote. We are out, but we are not worried. We were doing that because of the peace. Endelea kutupa amani rais wetu. Shika deputy yako, ufanye kazi na yeye. Kama amuelewani, mngoje katiba vile inasema. That 2027 mtaweza kuachana. Hakuna mtu anafanya divorce. Mtaweza kuachana, Gachagua aende njia yake, na huyu mwingine aende na njia yake. Na njia yake. Na hiyo ndio ile kitu ya muhimu. For now, hiyo na watu wanazunguka na kusema sijui anatafuta signatures ya impeachment ya Gachagua. Your Excellency, I want to ask you, are we building or we are destroying? We are destroying. Kuleta hiyo kutakuwa na upinzani. You don't know the opinion of the ground. Hujui Wanjiku atasema nini because he is not consulted. Yes. Kuulizwa hii watu waachane ama wasiachane. Are we consulted? Yeah. Sisi tunapiga kura. Yeah. So we will hiyo peace iwekwe and then vile mlikuwa naenda na Gachagua kila pahali kufanya kazi. Yes. Finally, diary of president is the priority. Yes. The way I've said in the government 35 years. diary ya president lazima inapelekwa kwa deputy president. Ndio deputy president anakanza mambo yake yote, anapanga kulingana na president. Kwa sababu yeye ni mtu wa kusaidia nani? Kusaidia rais. Kama kuna brokers hawapeani diary ya rais, sasa ndio pengine inaleta shida, we don't know. Ndio tujue kabisa is Gachagua ignoring all the diary haikufika kwake, kwa sababu you have so many brokers surrounding there, ndio wanapiganisha sisi. God bless Kenya.
Amen.
God bless Kenya. Amen. Let's quarters bless. Ile watu tukua pamoja tutatoa. Yes. Asante.
Are we building Kenya? Are we destroying Kenya? That is one of the former leaders who worked in the government saying that we should take actions. And to be specific, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, should take actions, and he should make sure that the chaos that are happening in this country should not circulate in all the parts of this country. Yes, the former leader is advocating for peace, saying that in the region that is Rift Valley, they don't condone the issues of tribalism, saying that they are all over, and the tribes that are found in those regions are all from the country Kenya. So anyone advocating for tribalism should be banned and it should be chased of the area. And he is saying that if we have brokers in between Ruto and Gachagua, then they should be named. Kenya should know. And you remember, even during the interview that happened some few days ago, Gachagua saying that he has been unable to access some of the functions in the government. He is unable to know what is happening. And this is the major reason whereby some of the things that are happening is not aware. You remember even Gachagua saying that the Adani issue that is in this country, whereby the JKIA is being planned to be given to Adani Group, is not aware. Is this true? The honest man said that live on cameras. The honest man said this without fear. Do you agree this is true, that Gachagua is being denied access to the president? And yet, as they move around the country, he says that he helped William Ruto secure this reign. This era only came through vain. And now, these things are happening. Do you support this? Join us through the comment section there and tell us where you're following the conversation from. I can see Gibbs Icona there, and Gibbs Icona is saying that yes, he is campaigning. And did you see they have increased the presidency to 7 years? Oh, what amended is this? That is Gibbs Icona. Comment section. Gachagua is not going anywhere. It's a distraction. You remember even the DP going to Mombasa carrying his own luggage. A lot of speech encroached from there. And now we are having this impeachment motion. Impeachment motion is ongoing, and the fight for Mount Kenya is still there. Kimani Ichung'wah, Kithure Kindiki, and other leaders are still trying to see who is going to be the next kingpin of this region. They want to be always in the government. You remember during Kibaki era, they were in the government. During Uhuru's era, they were in the government. And now they are in the government together with the Gachagua. We have, since independence in the year 1963, we had the former president, the late the Jomo Kenyatta. And after Jomo Kenyatta died in the year 1978, Moi, that is the Kalenjin, took over. And after Moi ruled for 24 years, Kibaki took over the year 2002. And now, after 2002, he finished his term for 10 years. And that is when, in the year 2013, the government was taken by Jubilee, formerly Jubilee. And now, after Jubilee, it is when Ruto and Uhuru came together and formed that party, and they took over the government. So you can now get the sequence of tribes who have been into the government. So now the Kikuyus feel that the mountain has not been well linked to the president because the deputy whom is from the region has not been giving them equal distribution, has not been presenting their grievances to the president, and they think that Kithure Kindiki is the right person. That is where they endorsed Kithure Kindiki for this region, for Mount Kenya region, so that he can be the direct link to the president. Is this true? Do you agree that Kindiki is the right person? And what is your opinion about Gachagua impeachment? And do you think Gachagua can be impeached? And who is the right person to represent Mount Kenya? Gachagua is not going anywhere. That is Gibbs Icona in the comment section there. Also, a comment section there. Gibbs Icona saying that the big tribes are tribal, but the sub tribes are not. Yes, we have some tribes like the Borana. Borana are still there. We also have small tribes in this country. The Wapokomo, those are the Custom Bantu, the Taitas. Those are the small tribes that are in this country. We have a lot of tribes in this country, but to mention Taitas, Wapokomo, Wagiriama, Boranas, those are the small tribes that we have in Kenya, and name them. That is Gibbs Agona saying that they are not tribal at all. They are not tribal at all. That is Gibbs Icona. Join us through the comment section there. And I had a speech for Kithure Kindiki speaking in front of president and his deputy president.
Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto, Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais Rigathi Gachagua, mawaziri, Waziri Muturi, Waziri Duale, makatibu wa wizara na maafisa wote wakuu na viongozi wote walio hapa, amjamboni. Mheshimiwa Rais, kwanza ni kushukuru kwa sababu ya kufanya mkutano huu. Kama ulivyosikia, hii ni mara ya kwanza kwa rais na kiongozi wa taifa kuwa na mkutano wa ana kwa ana na wazee wa mitaa pamoja na assistant chiefs na chiefs. It has never happened again. Hata wakati nimeketi pale nimeshangaa kwa sababu umenipatia kazi mimi, Raymond na wale wengine. Some of us bado hatujafikia kukutana na machifu. Sasa rais, you have challenged us to work much harder. You are ahead of us because this is the way to encourage the teams and the various public servants to work together to promote the interests of the nation. Your Excellency, sir, these officers, village elders, assistant chiefs, and chiefs are at the bottom of the governance pyramid, and they are the foundation upon which the country's security and stability is founded. Hawa ndio wanatushikilia katika mambo ya usalama na amani katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Wanafanya kazi nzuri sana. Wanajaribu kutatua mizozo katika vijiji vyetu. Na wakati mambo yakitendeka pale ya kiusalama, mtu wa kwanza ambao ripoti inapelekwa kwake ni mzee wa mitaa, ni assistant chief na ni chief. Mheshimiwa Rais, wewe mwenyewe umetuagiza tuhakikishe tumeharakisha ile mambo umetuambia tuharakishe kuhusu sera ambayo itatumika katika kuhakikisha kwamba wazee wetu wa mitaa wametambulika na wamejumuishwa na pia wamepata malipo kidogo ya kusaidia katika hii mambo. Your Excellency, as you directed us, we are making progress, and I think in another short period of time, we will be able to submit a report to you. The other thing, Your Excellency, the ministry has developed a village elders bill and a village elders policy, which is going through public participation at the moment. The other thing, Your Excellency, as the chiefs have said, we have tried to reallocate the resources that are allocated to the ministry to make sure that the AIE for our chiefs, assistant chiefs, and even for the other more senior officers is available. And based on the fiscal situation of the country, we will be seeing what we can adjust to make sure that internally, even without asking for more money from the National Treasury, we can be able to slightly adjust upwards the AIE for the various NGA officers. Our officer, Your Excellency, are the most disciplined officers that I know about. Hawaulizi maswali, na ile kazi wanapewa wanafanya. Wanafanya kwanza, alafu baadaye wanauliza maelezo, because they understand government. For government to be able to move, you require people who are focused, who are loyal, and who are disciplined to be able to move the country forward. Your Excellency, wameuliza mambo ya support ya polisi wa utawala. We were here again with you. You directed us to hasten the process. We are also almost ready, and again, soon we'll be able to report back to you. We are engaging the National Police Service so that we implement your directive around the issue of these officers being supported by police to enforce the law. Your Excellency, I don't want to say many things. The only thing I can say in conclusion is that today's meeting is for you to address us and to commission us in the very important event that is ahead of reclaiming our environment. And I really like the message that my brother C.S. Duale has given us here. Your Excellency, as you continue to lead us to address the very, very grave national matter of climate change, Nairobi suffers the most pollution. The Nairobi River today and the entire ecosystem around Nairobi River is presenting great hazard to the health of the people of Kenya, both upstream and downstream. Last year,
That is the Interior Cabinet Secretary for the Ruto's government, Kithure Kindiki, and he's saying that he will make sure that we have equal distribution of resources in this country when it comes to security. And that is one of the leaders from the speech. Do you think that he can be the next king of Mount Kenya? Alex, you have been lost for long. I don't know whether your network is back. And just asking you, what is your take about Kindiki's era? Is he the right person for Mount Kenya? I think Alex still is having problems with the network, but we can continue. Gives a corner. Can see you are giving us the company. Leo Nyambaya. Leo joined the conversation and ran away. Leo, you can join us and tell us your views about what is happening in this country. What do you say about Kithure Kindiki and Rigathi Gachagua? And who can be the next Mount Kenya Kingpin? Because they are fighting. They are still fighting on who is going to be the next king of Mount Kenya region. And you know that everything that is happening here in this country is all about Mount Kenya Kingpin. You know, those are the top areas that determine whether you're going to win the elections in this country. The youth are speaking. And you go to Jacaranda, you will find the youth there speaking, giving their voice. And Gibbs Akona, as he always says, that the youth in Jacaranda, maybe they are spearheaded by some of the leaders so that they can give their speeches. Let's listen to our famous Nuru Kanga and Omosh 1 hour. Of course, they were speaking there saying that they want to give their ideas about the situation in this country. Nuru Okanga always does not hesitate to say what comes in his mind.
Mimi kama Nuru Malobo Okanga nitakubaliana na Beno. Acting MCA. Naitwa Nuru Malobo Okanga kutoka Kakamega, Matungu, Orera. Mimi Mr. Speaker, ile maneno Dena anaongea ni ukweli mtupu. Lazima sisi kama vijana tushikane. Hiyo ndio kitu ya kwanza. Hawa wazee wametengeneza mali. Wako nayo na wako na mali ya kutosha kwa manyumba zao. Chakula yao inatoka kwa fridge, daktari anapima ndio inapikwa. Daktari akimaliza kupika inapimwa kwanza. Mr. Speaker, before niingie kwa mada siku nyingine, nilienda kwa Musalia Mudavadi, mimi Nuru Okanga hapa Karen kufanya repair ya manyumba. Tulipewa huko foreman mwingine alikuwa hapo Kayole Muluya, akapewa sababu ya kwenda kufanya repair kwa Musalia Mudavadi. Mr. Speaker, nilisikia uchungu na nikasikia kulia, lakini si kulia. Musalia Mudavadi yako na umbwa 4 zinatoshana hivi kubwa. Ati hizo umbwa Musalia Mudavadi sisi tunakula sukuma na anapikia umbwa nyama steak. Na hizo umbwa zimeadikiwa daktari. Daktari anapima nyama before ipikwe. Ikishapikwa daktari ana confirm kama imewekwa sumu. Ndio umbwa inaenda kukula. Umbwa. Pesa yetu ndio inanunua nyama ya umbwa.
Hey, that is Nuru Okanga saying that the money that we raise in this country is going to be used to buy foods for dogs, and yet we are using greens. And Nuru Okanga, does it mean that eating greens is bad? By the way, mimi nikikula kienyeji, nikichemsha kienyeji na ugali pale nasikia poa sana. Nyambaya, welcome to this conversation, bwana. Umepotea sana, and you tell us your thought about the new Mount Kenya campaign and what is happening. Do you think that Kindiki can be the real person to replace Gachagua? And what is your opinion? Do you think Gachagua can step down for any person? And do you agree that these two leaders, Ruto and Gachagua, are having this conflict? Or this is just a mind plan for 2027 general election?
All right, I hope you can hear me, Boniface. Sorry, I don't know if my connection is right. I'm fine, thank you. Greetings, Mr. Ogenga, Alex, good year. Gypsy is at the corner over there. It's been long, that is true, and a lot has been happening in this country. And when it comes to this story of Gachagua and William Ruto, it's not the first time that we are seeing these kind of things. And what I normally say is that the precedence that was set by William Ruto is not only going to haunt him, but is going to haunt the other deputy presidents that we are going to see and the other presidents. And maybe my prayer is that the only thing that can bring a solution to this kind of issue, this is something that was also brought by the 2010 Constitution. This is a constitution that maybe Kenyans never knew some of the implications or some of the things that are going to happen with this constitution. Number one, in our 2010 constitution is what made this thing called the National Government CDF fund null and void, even though I know we are not discussing that one now. It created the position of a deputy president who is elected alongside the president, who is not only appointed as we used to have a deputy president that can be appointed by the president, and in the moment that they fall out or they cease to serve the same interest, then the president can drop them and pick somebody who will serve, whereby we have a deputy president whose position is anchored in the constitution, and the only thing that can happen is that the president can follow a due process, remove him from the office. If it were the older constitution, William Ruto will just wake up and say that Gachagua, now that we are not serving the same interest, which is evident. You saw by the time that we were having the protest, people wanted to oust William Ruto. So the deputy president, whom they were elected with and they're serving the same government, also held a parallel press conference in support of the people or the Gen Zs who wanted to host William Ruto. So even if it is you, I don't think unless you are mad, you can still trust and believe in such kind of a person. And remember what our constitution says about when the office of the president can be vacant. In case something happens to William Ruto right now, we are not going to have a by-election. It is the deputy president who will have to serve the remaining part. And these are deputy presidents that have shown support to the people who don't want you in office. And you know very well that in case you leave that office, is the person who stands to benefit. I think it is Ruto is really late, and he really delayed this. If he was able, the person that he would have dealt with immediately, he managed to maybe punch at the Gen Z movement was his deputy, that is Rigathi Gachagua. So it's not the first time that we're seeing people have been seeing people talking of some theories that you see this is a mind game to keep Kenyans away from Adani. These things called Adani, this kind of contracts and whatever that we're going to have, these are things that are minor. We have some other deals that corrupt leaders are getting funds from. That Adani issue and the issue of airport is just a drop in the ocean. It is a real disagreement. These people are not in terms, and it is evident. You've seen it publicly. And what I know is that Gachagua might manage to consolidate the Mount Kenya behind him. But the question that we need to ask, where is he going to take these people of Mount Kenya? Yes, he might manage to convince those people to be around and rally behind him, but he cannot manage to convince anybody outside Mount Kenya. So the people I sympathize with right now are those people who are coming outside Mount Kenya and are aligning themselves to Rigathi Gachagua. They're the ones who are going to be losers because you're not coming from Mount Kenya. Gachagua cannot convince anybody outside Mount Kenya. So you are following him. I don't know what benefit you are going to get from Gachagua, who cannot even be able to be heard outside Mount Kenya. So people like Malala, I really sympathize with them, and any politician who wants to align himself, people like Babu Owino who want to align themselves with this thing called Team Ground that is led by this tribalist Kiambu MP called Gadoni Wamuchomba. So these are a kind of people that should be avoided at the moment. And me, what I support is that we need to get back and look into our constitution and get a way whereby we can give the president powers of appointing a deputy who will serve his own interests. To avoid this kind of dramas that we see each and every time, we need to go back to where we were, whereby the vice president or the deputy president is appointed by the president. So if you cannot be able to draw the line and serve the same interest with the president whom you are elected within the same maybe political party, you should be having similar agendas. And the moment you feel that your agendas have changed, then you need to get out and form your own government and drive your own agenda. That is what I can say right now. So Ruto should look for all legal ways available to ensure that he replaces Gachagua with somebody who believes in his agenda, or else wenye wanaenda kuumia ni sisi wa Kenya. Let me stop there.
Oh, thank you so much, Leo Nyambaya, coming with a big bagger in April 24, saying that Ruto should look for someone who will replace Gachagua. Gibson is saying that Ruto is part of the Andanis company, the Antanis company. And also about Jacaranda, saying that Jacaranda is a business venue nowadays. About Nuru Okanga Umochwanawa, saying that these are comedians who are being paid a lot of money by the politicians. I don't have any information about this, but I'm getting it here in the comment section in Afrique 24. You remember when you join Afrique 24 through the comment section there, you can tell us where you're following the conversation from and what is your take about the new Mount Kenya leader, who is going to be the new leader of this mountain. The fight is still on. Gachagua and Kindiki, those are the top leaders who are trying to see who is going to be the Mount Kenya leader. Kindiki was endorsed by several MCS and MPs, and now Gachagua is like, the motion is still ongoing. I saw it when Danson Mungatana said that he will be filing that motion in the parliament, and when it's ready, then they are going to discuss all about that. Remember, this is Afrique 24. Joining the conversation here, I am having Leo Nyambaya directly from Somaliland, and Alex just got disappeared, but he will be back in a few minutes.
But I think, Bonnie, I've heard you talk of Danson Mugatana. I think Danson Mugatana is now just making some joke out of this thing. Yes, it is true the role of a parliament, which consists of the National Assembly and the Senate, one of their role is to impeach the president and the deputy president as long as they have some grounds, they have some reasons uh, that support the impeachment. And as it stands, it's a matter of fact that there are so many grounds that can lead to impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, uh, not only as absconding duties, but you'll find that if you are deputy president, you people are elected and not apart. You're having a manifesto and you're having some of the things that you believe in that you want to do to the country. You are not elected to go and complain in the televisions like I saw the deputy president calling for some press conferences or some interviews to go and lament. So I don't know whom he wanted to help him, because he's the second most, the second in command, and is the person that we are waiting and looking into. I remember the day he was on the television. The next day, the president was traveling out of the country, and as the president leaves the country, is the one who is left in charge. So this is the deputy president who the president is getting out of the country in the next 5 to 6 hours, but he's not aware that the president is leaving. So how is he going to take charge when he doesn't even know that the person that he's representing in his absence is leaving? So Mgatana knows very well that the Senate cannot initiate the impeachment. Yes, the Senate will have to discuss and process the impeachment of the president, but this one has to be initiated in the National Assembly. So once it has been initiated in the National Assembly, discussed there and maybe approved, is when the debate will now be transferred to the Senate, just as what you normally see happening with the impeachment of governors. Senators cannot just wake up, or your senator cannot just wake up, your Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna, and take an impeachment motion against Sakaja, and that is maybe it might have been the wish of Sifuna, but legally he cannot do it. This thing has to be initiated by the county assemblies. Then, after the county assemblies have done their part, then they'll have to take it to the Senate for approval or maybe disapproval. So this is what happens in the impeachment of the president and the deputy president. It has to be initiated by the National Assembly, is when it is being taken to the Senate. So Mugatana is just taking that joke too far, unless he wants to resign from becoming a senator and maybe vie and become an MP within those few days, is when he can be able to proceed with that impeachment. I know this is something that is, if it has to happen, then it should happen in the National Assembly, and they discuss it, and they have all the reasons to impeach Gachagua, and maybe Gachagua also can decide to resign, something that he said he is not going to do, and you remember him requesting the president to allow him work for the remaining 3 years. I don't know what he's going to do after the 3 years. And he said that, okay, because the president, as a deputy president, was allowed to work by Uhuru Kenyatta at the first 5 years with one making this thing become part and parcel of our political culture, whereby even the person who will become the president after William Ruto will also undergo through the same. So we should not allow them to do this kind of thing. And some people are getting that, okay, they elected on the same ticket, but this one seized immediately the assumed office. Everybody is now having a personal responsibility. That is why when you look at the constitution, it talks of circumstances whereby the office of the president can be vacant, and separately also addresses circumstances where the office of the deputy president can be vacant. So the fact that they were elected together doesn't mean that when you want to impeach William Ruto, you have to impeach William Ruto together with Rigathi Gachagua. William Ruto can be impeached separately and independently without touching on Gachagua. And by the time you're impeaching William Ruto, you know very well that Gachagua becomes the next president and will have to go through the process of appointing a new deputy president. And if you impeach Gachagua, just the same way we normally see it happen in the county assemblies, that the president will have to get another deputy president whom he believes can can be able to steer his agenda. So as Kenyans, we're just waiting to see what is going to happen. There's also a bill, I think it's by Cherargei, that is proposing to extend the presidential term from 5 years to, I think, 7 years, incorporating what was there in BBI and the recent bombers talk. Is it there's a name, that bilateral or something like that, bipartisan talk. And all these are just to buy time. And we know very well if that one goes through, then William Ruto will have to serve those 7 years uninterrupted, because that one will be, it will nullify these first 5 years, because he will now be operating under a new constitution. Yeah. So let us wait and see. And as Kenyans, we just have to agree that it is the nature of our politics that has put us here, and I don't see anything changing, Boniface. Even if elections are held today or 2027, people will still vote based on our default groups, the way we've been voting. You know, the elections are normally, people have got some default groups. Of course, ours is our ethnicity is our default identity. So if people will be called to vote tomorrow, we made noise that we're having Gen Z, they are tribeless and whatever. The other day, you saw the deputy president at Githurai. I think majority of the people who are there were the Gen Zs, were people of that generation, Zoomers. And these Gen Zs are the same people who are calling Gachagua their own. Yeah. So we'll still vote based on our ethnical identity, which is a fact. Politics are built on identities. Kenyan default identity is the ethnicity. We are not voting based on religion. Countries like America don't vote based on the ethnicity, because that is an immigrant country that has been formed by people from different ethnic groups. But Kenya, we were created from our ethnic groups, and we can't run away from that. A Gypsy Corner has also talked of the Jacaranda. Of course, Jacaranda is not only a place whereby you can go and get entertained or maybe get some content or get some comedy, but it's also becoming not only a business center, but it's also becoming a begging center. If you look at people like Mosh 1 Hour, people like Nuru Okanga, you know, people like Nuru are motivated by the fact that they saw people like Gaucho nowadays flying choppers and putting on designer suits. So he had to go look for Oscar Sudi. The other one, there's this other one who is now a comedian working with Kasipul. So most have realized that he is the only one who remained there. So you also need to get ways of Yakuomoka. So we just need to take them for comedy and for entertainment. But if you want any political maybe directions and you expect to get one from Jacaranda, then you need some medical checkup.
Yes, that is Leo Nyambaya, and of course, you know, he's one of our panelists here in Africa 24, spitting the fact here and saying that this country needs to be retrieved from the deep hole that we are having in this situation. And of course, you remember this is Africa 24 Gives a Corner. You are a good ambassador for this show, and if you have not subscribed, you're following us through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. Now we give it the name X. You can go there, like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of content there. Go there, and you shall be entertained and you shall be informed. This is Africa 24, and we say Luere, and thank you for tuning for today's show. And that was awesome. Gibbs Icona, awesome. You are brand ambassador for this channel. Leo Nyambaya, Alex Ogega, you have been here for the top stories, and I want to say thank you.